Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing well. So thank you for getting this add-on, or at least checking it and having some interest in it. In this video, it will be like a getting started video. I will show you how to install the add-on. I will show you how to get started with it. It's a pretty straightforward add-on because my thought process going into the creation of this add-on is something I had expected from Blender with the new release of the curve hair geometry node. It's a very powerful tool, quite intuitive, quite scalable, but it's not very friendly for your everyday today artists that want to just create hairstyle with a new node, add children hair, add the common stuff you want to add. So that's the problem I was trying to solve with this add-on, and I think I did a good job with that. So let's get started. Once you've gotten your copy of the add-on and you have that saved somewhere, let's load mine. So it's the hair brick add-on, and this is version 1. So by the way, you go to user preference add-on and you're here to install it. If you don't find it, you can just search for hair and you should see hair brick. So you just enable it and you save your preference so it can always load automatically when you open Blender. Okay, so you'll find the add-on right here called hair brick. Right now you see nothing, but the UI doesn't look intimidating, it just looks fun. Because my approach to creating tools is to make it as easy as possible. Sometimes it hurts me, sometimes it's for the win, and I think we have a winner here. Okay, so let's just start with a simple monkey hair to kind of get started. I'm applying a subdivision just to smooth it out, and we can see we have a plus icon here. So if you press the plus icon, you get curve. So what this is doing is basically adding a new curve object to your material, to your Susan. Basically, you could do this by yourself automatically, but this does it for you, and it makes it visible and easy for you to edit and kind of manage your scene. So for your character, if you have multiple curves, you can easily manage it with this window right here, and you have the ability to click on this and jump right into the sculpt mode, and you also have the ability to duplicate and rename, hide for viewport, and also render view. You can delete if you don't want that. Ignore this, I'm aware of this and I'm fixing it currently. Okay, so once you have your curve, like I mentioned, you could easily go into your sculpt mode, and from here you can just do your usual Blender stuff. You draw your curves and you can groom it. Okay, so the goal with this is not to deviate so much from what Blenders offer us. This is just to make it easy to access stuff. This is not the real strength of it yet. You'll see that in a bit. But once you've added your hair, which is where most of us start from, and it's fun and creative, but the less intuitive part of the geometry node is there's no UI for you to kind of manipulate things. So that's where our hair modifier comes into place. So in the modifier, we have 3 categories, which is the hair effects, hairstyling, and hair operations. So the hair effect basically comprises of things you could apply, like you could transform the hair, you could reduce it, you could smooth the hair, you could blend the hair. For the hairstyling, you have stuff like braiding, coily hair, you have deformation noise, stuff like that. And for the hair operations are things that you would need in certain instance, that instead of going into geometry node and doing it, you can just apply it right here. So what can we do here? Let's add like a nice hair effect, which is duplicating the hair. So you can play with the radius here, and then basically this is it. You have access to all of this, and it's kind of arranged in a modifier stack fashion. So you could decide to add like a coily hair, play with the start and end point, play with the scale, play with the resolution and coiliness. And you can move things up and down to create several effects. So it becomes very intuitive. You have this ability to kind of create a bunch of nodes, and when you're happy with it, you can save it as a preset. So for your next project, you don't have to start afresh. You can just load in that preset to start using. And another great thing with this is you can export the presets for your workmate, for your friends, for your YouTube subscribers. And the way you can set where you want that to be exported in is if you go to the head brick system, in the preference you can see like a file path. So depending on where you save this file path, it's where the preset is going to be saved, but the preset is also saved here in Blender. I need to get rid of this. second. Okay, so that preset is also saved here in Blender, and you can remove them, you can add them, you can just use them for what you want. My goal with this add-on is not to create something new in the sense of reinventing the way geometry node is already pretty awesome. We just needed a very intuitive UI and to make the life of every artist easier. So all the nodes you'll find here are pretty high quality. We spent months and months waiting and researching. That's why the most usable version of this is in Blender 3.4, 3.5, where you have all the most latest node. And this also includes the Blender added nodes, so you're not missing out on much. You can use all the Blender stuff like interpolate. What also even increased the value of this is the ability to mask features. So let's open like a nice test scene, and you can see that in work. This promotion artwork, and we have this. So this was created with the hair nodes add-on. If I select this, we're selecting the right one. Okay, so let's say we want to, this is the baby hair. You can easily enable and disable. You can disable things you don't want to see for now. So let's say we want to kind of cut out some part of this baby hair. So it's as easy as adding the cut modifier, enabling it to be able to delete certain part and enable image maps basically. So your object has to have UV map. And then you just click on new. You can call it whatever you want, and choose the resolution depending on how crispy you want the effect to be. If the effect is not going to be very crisp, then you can ignore that. You can just leave it as default. Okay, so we select the object and go into sculpt mode. In texture paint mode. So that's where the icon will go in for you. It will also set it up for you, so you don't have to search for the image. It's kind of automatic. So white value is positive and dark value is the negative. So if you want to add things for a certain modifier, using the white is going to enable that. So using the white value, I'm just cutting through it. So this is how it is. So obviously, if I enable this to be textured, and so we can see how it's looking. So basically, for all the modifiers you see here, you can apply this. You can use the texture mapping. So even stuff down to like duplicating hair, so you can duplicate portions of hair. Something down to the hair clumping, you can clump certain parts of hair, so you can have multiple clump modifiers in just one hair system and apply different type of clump in different sections. So you can see the windows that open up for you, which is kind of what I was trying to achieve with this. And I've used this for my professional work, and it has been amazing. Yeah, so this is just like a getting started video. I hope you found this interesting and it kind of made you interested in the add-on. I'll be putting out more tutorials on specific hairstyles on the Louis Art channel. So if you're interested in that, you can subscribe so that you stay in tune. I'm going to be putting that a lot. I'm going to put out a lot for the next coming days on different hairstyles like eyebrows, braid, and everything you might need to know. So thank you so much for checking this out and purchasing it if you have. And talk to you soon. Bye bye for now.